Hi guys, I'm back. Today we're currently experiencing a blackout, so I'm reading from the tablet. Today we're going to read Genesis 37 to 42, Proverbs 5, and Psalm 98. Let's get started. Jacob lived in the land of his father's sojournings, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was pasturing a flock with his brothers. He was the boy with sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, and his father's wife. And Joseph brought a barrel of pork to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any other of his sons, because he was the son of his old age. And they made him a robe of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, and when he had told it to his brothers, they hated him more. Now Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more. And he said to them, "Hear this dream that I have dreamed. Behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and behold, my sheaf arose and stood upright. And behold, your sheaves gathered around it and bowed down to my sheaf." His brothers said to him, "Are you indeed to reign over us? Or are you indeed to rule over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. Then he dreamed another dream, told it to his brothers, and said, "Behold, I have dreamed another dream. Behold, the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars were bowing down to me." But when he told it to his father and to his brothers, his father rebuked him and said to him, "What's this dream that you have dreamed? Shall all of us indeed come to bow yourselves to the ground before you?" And his brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the saying in mind. Now his brothers went to pasture the father's flock near Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, "I know your brothers pasturing the flock at Shechem. Come, I will send you to them." And he said to him, "Here I am." And so he said to him, "Go now, see if the well is well with your brothers and with the flock, and bring me over." So he sent him from the valley of Heba, and he came to Shechem. And the man found him wandering in the fields. And the man asked him, "What are you seeking?" "I am seeking my brothers." He said, "Tell me please, where they are pasturing the flock." And the man said, "They have gone away, for I heard them say, 'Let's go to Dothan.'" So Joseph went after his brothers and found them at Dothan. So he saw him from afar, and before he came near to them, they conspired against him to kill him. They said to one another, "Here comes the dream. Now let's kill him to one of the pits. Then we'll say that if this animal has devoured it, and we'll see what will become of his dreams." Now when Reuben heard it, he rescued him out of their hands, saying, "Let us not take his life." And Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood, throw him into the pit here in the wilderness, but do not lay a hand on him." Now he might rescue him out of the hand to restore him to his father. So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe and gave him a collar for the wool. And they took him and threw him into a pit. And the pit was empty, there was no water in it. And they sat down to eat, and looking up they saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, with their camels bearing gum, balm, and myrrh, on their way to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said to his brothers, "What profit if he kill our brother and conceal his blood? Let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, he is our own flesh." And his brothers listened to him. And Midianite traders passed by, and they drew Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit, and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. And they took Joseph to Egypt. And Reuben returned to the pit and saw that Joseph was not in the pit. He took his clothes and returned to his brothers and said, "The boy's gone, and where shall I go?" And they took Joseph's robe and slaughtered a goat and dipped the robe in the blood. And they sent the robe of many colors and brought it to their father and said, "This we have found. Please identify whether it is your son's robe or not." And he identified it and said, "It is not my son's. It is my son's robe." For this animal has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt torn to pieces. And Jacob tore his garments and put sackcloth over his loins and meant for his son many days. All his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. "No, I shall go down to Sheol to my son, learning." Thus his father wept for him. Meanwhile the Midianites had sold him in Egypt for Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard. It happened at that time that Judah went down from his brothers and turned aside to his son Adonai, whose name was Hira. And then Judah saw the daughter of his son Canaanite woman, whose name was Shua. He took her and went into her. Then she conceived a boy son, and he called his name Er. She conceived again and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. Yet again she bore a son, and he called his name Shelah. Judah was in Chesed when she bore him, and Judah took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. But Judah's firstborn was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord put him to death. And Judah said to Onan, "Go into your brother's wife and perform the duty of a brother-in-law, and raise up offspring for your brother." But Onan knew that the offspring would not be his. So whenever he went in to his brother's wife, he would waste the seed on the ground, so as not to give offspring to his brother. And he knew what was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and he put him to death also. And Judah said to Tamar his daughter, "Remain a widow in your father's house, till Shelah my son grows up, for he feared that he would die, like his brothers." So Tamar went and remained in her father's house. In the course of time, the wife of Judah's daughter died, and Judah was killed. He went up to Timnah to his sheep shearers, he and his friend Hira the Adultman. And when Timnah was told, "Your father-in-law is going up to Timnah near his sheep," he took off the widow's garment and covered herself with a veil, wrapping herself up, and sat at the entrance to Idnah, which is on the road to Timnah. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she had not been given to him in marriage. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, but she had covered her face. He turned to her at the roadside and said, "Let me come in to you," for he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. He said, "What will you give me, that you may come in to me?" He answered, "I will send you a young goat from the flock." And she said, "If you give me a pledge until you send it." He said, "What pledge shall I give you?" She replied, "Your signet and your cord and your staff that is in your hand." So he gave them to her and went into her, and she could see by him. Then she arose and went away, and taking off the veil, she put on the garments of her widowhood. And Judah sent the young goat by his friend the Adultmite to take back the pledge from the woman's hand. He did not find it, and he asked the men of the place, "Where is that cold prostitute who was at Idnah at the roadside?" And they said, "No cold prostitute has been there." So he returned to Judah and said, "I have not found it." And so the men of the place said, "No cold prostitute has been there." And Judah replied, "Let her keep the things as her own, and we shall be laughed at. You see, I sent this young goat, and you did not find it." About 3 months, Judah was told, "Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has been immoral. Moreover, she is pregnant by immorality." And Judah said, "Bring her out, and let her be bed." And as she was being brought out, she sent word to her father-in-law, "By the man to whom these belong, I am pregnant." And she said, "Please identify who these are, the signet and the cord and the staff." And Judah identified them and said, "She is more righteous than I, since I did not give her to my son Shelah." And he did not know her again. When the time of her labor came, there were twins in all. And as she was in labor, one put out her hair, and the midwife took and tied a scarlet thread under his hair, saying, "This one cannot live." But as he drew back his hair, behold, his brother came out, and he said, "What a breach you have made for yourself." Therefore his name was called Paris. Afterward, his brother came out with the scarlet thread in his hand, and his name was called Zerah. Now Joseph had been brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard, an Egyptian, had brought him from the Ishmaelites who had brought him down there. The Lord was with Joseph, and he became a successful man. He was with the house of his Egyptian master. His master thought that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord caused all that he did to succeed in his house. So Joseph found favor in his sight and attended to him, and he made him overseer in his house and put him in charge of all that he had. From the time that he made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake, and the blessing of the Lord was on all that he had, in house and field. So he left all that he had in Joseph's charge, and because of him he had no concern about anything but the food he ate. Now Joseph was handsome and form in appearance, and after a time his master's wife cast her eyes on Joseph and said, "Lie with me." But he refused and said to his master's wife, "Behold, because of me my master has no concern about anything in the house, and he has put everything he has in my charge. He is not greater than in this house than I am, nor has he kept back anything from me except you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" And she spoke to Joseph day after day. He would not listen to her, to lie beside her or to be with her. And one day when he went into the house to do his work, and none of the men of the house were there in the house, she called him by his garment, saying, "Lie with me." But he left his garment in her hand, and fled and got out of the house. And as soon as she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and fled out of the house, she called the men of her house and said to them, "See, he's brought around us that he agreed to laugh at us. He came in to lie with me." And I cried out with a loud voice. And as soon as I heard that I lifted up my voice and cried out, he left his garment beside me, and fled and got out of the house. Then she laid up his garment by her until her master came home. And she told him the same story, saying, The Hebrew servant whom he had brought among us came in to laugh at me. And as soon as I lifted up my voice and cried, he left his garment beside me and fled out of the house. As soon as his master heard the word, his wife spoke to him, "This is the way your servant treated me." His anger was kindled, and Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined. And he was there in prison. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed himself his love. He gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. Now the keeper of the prisoners put Joseph in charge of all the prisoners who were in the prison. Whatever was done there, he was the one who did it. The keeper of the prison paid no attention to anything that was in Joseph's charge, because the Lord was with him, and whatever he did, the Lord made it succeed. Sometime after this, the cupbearer of the king of Egypt and his baker committed an offense against their lord, the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was angry with his two officers, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker, and he put them in custody in the house of the captain of the guard, in the prison where Joseph was confined. The captain of the guard appointed Joseph to be with him, and he attended them. Now he was confined some time in custody, and one night they both dreamed, the cupbearer and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were confined in the prison, each his own dream, and each dream with its own interpretation. And Joseph came to them in the morning. He saw that they were troubled, so he asked Pharaoh's officers who were with in custody, "Why are you afraid to down custody?" They said to him, "We have had dreams, and there is no one to interpret them." And Joseph said, "Do not interpretations belong to God? Please tell them to me." Now the chief cupbearer told his dream to Joseph and said to him, "In my dream there was a vine before me, and on the vine there were 3 branches. As soon as it budded, its blossoms shot forth, and the clusters ripened into grapes. Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand." And Joseph said to him, "This is its interpretation. The 3 branches are 3 days. In 3 days Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your office, and you shall place Pharaoh's cup in his hand as formerly, when you were his cupbearer. Only remember me when it is well with you, and please do me the kindness to mention me to Pharaoh, and so get me out of this house, for I was indeed stolen out of the land of the Hebrews. And here also I have done nothing that they should put me into the pit." And the chief baker saw that the interpretation was favorable. He said to Joseph, "I also had a dream. There were 3 cake baskets on my head, and in the uppermost basket there were all sorts of baked food for Pharaoh, but the others were eating it out of the basket on my head. And in the uppermost basket there were all sorts of baked food for Pharaoh, but the birds were eating it." And Joseph answered and said, "This is its interpretation. The 3 baskets are 3 days. In 3 days Pharaoh will lift up your head from you and hang you on a tree, and the birds will eat the flesh with you." On the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, he made a feast for all the servants, and lifted up the head of the chief cupbearer and the head of the chief baker among the servants. He restored the chief cupbearer to his position, and he placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand, but he hanged the chief baker, as Joseph had interpreted to him. Yet the chief cupbearer did not remember Joseph, but forgot him. After 2 whole years, Pharaoh dreamed that he was standing by the Nile, and behold, there came up out of the Nile 7 cows, attractive and plump, and they fed in the reed grass. And behold, 7 other cows, ugly and thin, came up out of the Nile after them, and stood by the other cows on the bank of the Nile. And ugly, thin cows ate up the 7 attractive, plump cows. And Pharaoh awoke, and he fell asleep and dreamed a second time. Behold, 7 ears of grain, plump and good, they were growing on one stalk, and behold, after them sprouted 7 ears, thin and blighted by the east wind. And the 7 thin ears swallowed up the 7 plump full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. So in the morning his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all its wise men. Pharaoh told them its dreams, but no one could interpret them to Pharaoh. The chief cupbearer said to Pharaoh, "I remember my offences today." And Pharaoh was angry with his servants, and put me and the chief baker in custody in the house of the captain of the guard. He dreamed the same night, and he and I, each having a dream with his own interpretation. A young Hebrew was there with us, a servant of the captain of the guard, and he interpreted our dreams to us, giving an interpretation to each man according to his dream. And as he interpreted to us, so it came about. I was restored to my office, and the baker was hanged. And Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they quickly brought him out of the pit. And he had shaved himself and changed his clothes. He came in before Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I have had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it. You have heard it said of you that when you hear a dream, you can interpret it." Joseph answered Pharaoh, "It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer." Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Behold, in my dream I was standing on the banks of the Nile, 7 cows, plump and attractive, came up out of the mountain and fed in the reed grass. 7 other cows came up after them, poor and very ugly and thin, and such as I had never seen in all of the land of Egypt. And the thin, ugly cows ate up the first 7 plump cows. But when they had eaten them, no one would have known that they had eaten them. But they were still as ugly as at the beginning. And I awoke, and I also saw in my dream 7 ears growing on one stalk, full and good. 7 ears, withered, thin, and blinded by the east wind, spread after them. And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 good ears. And I told her to the magicians that there was no one who could explain it to me. Joseph said to Pharaoh, the dreams of Pharaoh are one. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows are 7 years, and 7 good ears are 7 years. The dreams are one. 7 lean cows and lean and ugly cows that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blinded by the east wind are also 7 years of famine. And as I told Pharaoh, God has shown to Pharaoh what he is about to do. There will come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and after them there will arise 7 years of famine, and all the plenty will be forgotten in the land of Egypt. The famine will consume the land, and the plenty will be unknown in the land by reason of the famine that will follow, for it will be very severe. And the doubling of Pharaoh's dream means that the thing is fixed by God, and God will shortly bring it about. Now therefore let Pharaoh select a discerning and wise man, and send him over to the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh proceed to appoint overseers over the land, and take 1/5 of the produce of the land of Egypt during the 7 plentiful years. And let them gather all the food of these good years that are coming, and store up grain under the authority of Pharaoh for food and for siege, and let them keep. That food shall be a reserve for the land against the 7 years of famine that are to occur in the land of Egypt, so that the land may not perish through the famine. This proposal pleased Pharaoh and all his servants. And Pharaoh said to his servants, can we find a man like this, in whom is the Spirit of God? And Pharaoh said to his judges, since God has shown you all this, there is none so discerning as wise as you are. He shall be over my house, and all my people shall order themselves as you command. And these regards, through him will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took his signet ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand, and clothed him in garments of fine linen, and put a gold chain around his neck. And he made him ride in a second chariot. And they called out before him, bow the knee. Thus they set him over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said to Egypt, moreover, Pharaoh said to Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without your consent shall no one lift up your hand or an old land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphanath-Paneah, and he gave him in marriage Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. So Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. When Joseph was 30 years old, he entered the service of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went through all the land of Egypt. During the 7 plentiful years, the earth produced abundantly. And he gathered up the food of these 7 years, which occurred in the land of Egypt, and put the food in the cities. He put in every city the food from the fields around it. And Joseph stored up grain in great abundance, like the sand of the sea, until he ceased to measure it, for it could not be measured. But before the year of the famine came, 2 his sons were born to Joseph. Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore them to him. Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh. For, he said, God has made me forget all my hardship and all my father's house. The name of the second he called Ephraim, for God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. The 7 years of plenty that occurred in the land of Egypt came to an end, and the 7 years of famine began to come, as Joseph had said. And there was famine in all the land. In all the land of Egypt there was bread, and all the land of Egypt was famished. And the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. Pharaoh said to all the Egyptians, go to Joseph, what he said to you do. So the famine spread over all the land. Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold to the Egyptians, for the famine was severe in the land of Egypt. Moreover, all the earth came to Egypt to Joseph to buy grain, because the famine was severe over all the earth. When Jacob learned that there was grain for sale in Egypt, he said to his sons, why do you look at one another? And he said, behold, I have heard that there is grain for sale in Egypt. Go down and buy grain for us there, that we may live and not die. So 10 of Joseph's brothers went down to buy grain in Egypt. But Jacob did not send Benjamin, Joseph's brother, with his brother, for he feared that harm might happen to him. Thus the sons of Israel came to buy among the others who came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. Now Joseph was governor over the land. He was the one who sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brothers came, and the others stood before him with their faces to the ground. Joseph saw his brothers and recognized them, but he treated them like strangers and spoke roughly to them. Where do you come from? They said, from the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph recognized his father, and they did not recognize him. And Joseph remembered the dream that he dreamed of them. He said to them, "You are spies, and you come to see the nakedness of the land." And he said to him, "No, my lord, you servants have come to buy food. Here are all sons of one man. We are honest men. Your servants here have never been spies." He said to them, "No, it is the nakedness of the land that you have come to see." And they said, "We, your servants, are 12 brothers, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is no more." But Joseph said to them, "It is as I said to you, you are spies. By this you shall be tested, by the life of Pharaoh. You shall not go from this place unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of you, and let him bring your brother, and while you remain confined, that your words may be tested. Whether there is truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely you are spies." And he put them all together in custody for 3 days. On the third day, Joseph said to them, "Do this, and you will live, for I fear God. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers remain confined where you are in custody, and let the rest go and carry grain for the family of your households, and bring your youngest brother to me. So your words will be verified, and you shall not die." And they did so. And they said to one another, "In truth we are guilty concerning our brother, and that we saw the distress of his soul when he begged us, and we did not listen. That is why this distress has come upon us." And Aaron answered them, "Did I not tell you not to sin against the boy? But you did not listen. So now there comes a reckoning for his blood." They did not know that Joseph understood them, for there was an interpreter between them. And he turned away from them and wept. And he returned to them and spake to them. And he took Simeon from them and bound him before their eyes. And Joseph gave orders to fill their bags with grain, and to place every man's money in the sack, and to give them provisions for the journey. This was done for them. And they loaded their donkeys with their grain and departed. And as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey fodder at the lodging place, here was money in the mouth of the sack. He said to my brothers, "My money is being put back. Here it is in the mouth of my sack." At this their hearts failed them, and they turned trembling to one another, saying, "What is this that God has done to us?" And they came to Jacob their father in the land of Canaan. He told him all that happened to them, saying, "The man delivered from us spoke roughly to us and took us to be spies to the land. But we said to him, 'We are honest men, we have never been spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father, and one is no more, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan.' And the man delivered said to us, 'By this I shall know that you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers with me, and take grain from the family of your households, and go your way. Bring your youngest brother to me, then I shall know that you are not spies, but honest men. And I will deliver your brother to you, and you shall trade in the land.' As they emptied their sacks, behold, every man's bundle of money was in the sack. And when they and their father saw their bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob their father said to him, 'You bereaved me of my child. Joseph is no more, and Simeon is no more, and now you would take Benjamin. All this has come against me.' And Reuben said to my father, 'Kill my 2 sons if I do not bring him back to you. Put him in my hand, and I will bring him back to you.' But he said, 'My son shall not go down with you, for his brother said, he is the only one left. If harm should happen to him on the journey that you are to make, you would bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to show.'" Proverbs 5. "My son, be attentive to my wisdom, incline your ear to my understanding, that you may keep discretion, and your lips may guard knowledge. For the lips of a forbidden woman drip honey, and the speech is smoother than olive oil. But in the end she is bitter as wormwood, her sharp as a two-edged sword. And if we go down to death, her steps follow the path of shame. She does not ponder the path of life, nor waste one day, and she does not know. And now, sons, listen to me. Do not depart from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your honor to others, and your years to the merciless. And the strangers take their fill of your strength, and your labors go to the house of the foreigner. And at the end of your life you groan, and your flesh and body are with you. You say, 'How I hated discipline, how my heart despised reproof. I will not listen to the voice of my teachers, or incline my ear to my instructors. I am at the brink of utter ruin in the assembled congregation. Drink water from your own cistern, drink flowing water from your own well. Should your streams be scattered abroad, streams of water in the street, let them be for yourself a land, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice in the wife of your youth. A great lovely deer, restful dead, let it brush for you at all times with delight. Be intoxicated always in the love. Why should you be intoxicating my son with a forbidden woman, and embrace the bosom of an adulteress? For a man's ways are before the eyes of the Lord. He ponders all his paths. The iniquities of the wicked stand, and he is all fast in the cords of his sin. He died for lack of discipline. Because of his great folly he is led astray. Psalm 98. I sing to the Lord a new song, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm have worked salvation for him. The Lord has made known his salvation. He has revealed his righteousness in the sight of the nations. He has remembered his steadfast love and faithfulness, and to the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Break forth in a joyous song and sing praises. Sing praises to the Lord with a lyre and the sound of melody, with trumpets and the sound of the horn. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, the King of the Lord. Let the sea roar, and all that fills it, the world and those who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let the hills sing for joy together before the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness and the peoples with equity. Now thus done, I shall now do the Lord's Prayer. Please raise hands. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, he will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we also forgive our debtors. Please not us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.